What is going on, everybody? It is Tuesday night and a very early broadcast time, but there's a reason for it, right? First of all, for you guys that don't know me, I'm your host, SAJ, Loudmouth of the South. And yes, I'm notorious for being one of the loudest in football stadiums anywhere. And I hold that title quite proudly. So that's my gig. That's what I do, is cause all kinds of problems for defenses, or I'm sorry, for opponent offenses, and just generally get loud. I think we need to focus on getting loud for our next two guests. I have two of the finest products that the University of Texas San Antonio has created in their football system under the legendary Jeff Traylor. We have defensive lineman Joe Evans and wide receiver Decorian JT Clark. These guys are legendary in San Antonio football as far as the college ranks go. And I expect them to do absolutely tremendous things in their careers. They've set some records. I'm sure probably broken some hearts and probably broken some bones along the way. But I'll let them tell their stories because their story is going to be told way better than what I could. So let's go ahead and bring these gentlemen in. Start with Mr. Joe Evans and then Mr. JT Clark. Gentlemen, come
How
on
we
in.
doing? What's good?
Man, man, I am so excited to have two of the finest athletes that have been produced here at the University of Texas San Antonio under the legendary Jeff Traylor. And I definitely have some questions about that as well. But we'll get to that in a little bit. But first, let's start with you guys, right? Because we always want necessarily so much about, this loudmouth old guy just talking all the time. So, Joe, let's start with you first. Tell everybody who you are, where you're from, where you played, high school and college at, if and any records or anything you may have set.
Yeah, my name is Joe Evans, Haynesville, Louisiana, small town, 45 minutes east of Shreveport. High school football. I was a Golden Tornado. I bleed black and gold. And then my freshman year to my sophomore year, I played ball at LSU. Got a chance in national championship, but after that, went to San Antonio, at San Antonio. Um, and then after that, I went to the Eagles, played there for a while. Initially signed with the Colts, did a rookie mini camp with them, and then entered training camp with Philly.
Very nice, very nice. I'm sorry that it was Philly. You should have joined, a winning
Philly,
team back here,
Philly,
right?
The
Like one
place
of
to
those
be,
Green
ain't
Bay
it?
Packers.
Oh, my bad. Packers, okay.
Ah, I don't know. Um, my co-host BD, who is not here right now. Oh, and we lost
Yeah.
JT, but he'll be back. Um, my co-host is a diehard Cowboys fan, so that would hurt his feelings a little bit, and that's okay, right? Because Cowboys fans, let's be honest. Now, JT, same thing for you. Where'd you start your career at? Where'd you go to school? Talk about your pro career so far.
Got you. Sorry for that. I got an Amber Alert. Messed up my connection. But I'm Decorian. I'm Decorian JT Clark. Initially go by JT. I'm a Fort Worth native. Went to two high schools actually. Went to OD Wide High School there in Forest Hill, and then I also went to Everman High School. Both high schools. I would say I was the leading receiver there. Had at least one touchdown per game whenever I was in high school. After that, I had originally committed to U of H, and then had a coaching change, so I committed to UTSA under Frank Wilson. I was blessed to be coached under Jeff Traylor afterwards. After he came in, won a championship with the exact same guys, two championships. Still blessed to still have connections with those guys as well. Set some records at UTSA. Broke my own record actually with the most yards as a receiver and most touchdowns in a single game. So forever blessed to have that opportunity. Other than that, went through an injury through college, ACL, tore both of them actually at one point during that career, but
Ooh,
I was able to bounce back. Um, and just grateful for the opportunity that the Toros gave me as well. So just blessed to be here.
excellent. Well, we're excited to have both of you guys. Um, that's one thing I haven't really talked about with any of the other guests that we've had on, because I don't really like to talk too much about injuries.
Mhm.
But let's talk about the injuries, because me not ever having this level will necessarily what that looks like, what that level of commitment kind of looks like. So talk to us about what kind of effort it takes to come for both of you. I'm sure both of you have had injuries. Talk about what
Yeah.
kind of effort it takes to have to bounce back from an injury to be able to get yourself back into.
You want to go first, Joe? Or
I mean, we were both in the same training room. I mean, we seen each other every day in the
yeah,
same training room. We was hurt. No, but I mean the amount of mental strain it has on you, it can take a toll. That's why it's important to not only be okay on the field, but be okay and have people supporting you off the field. Because for that, my support system was my family, and they, mentally getting me, back into the space where you're like, oh, it's all gonna work out. Like I'm okay. I'm not gonna you know fall from this. And when I go to the facility every day, it's basically a mindset of I can push through this. Like every week, you start seeing progress and you start telling yourself, hey, we one step closer, one step closer. I mean, that comes with anything though, having that kind of mindset. But yeah, you just got to have a support system and a mindset to push through it, I guess.
most definitely. And I agree. And to fall back on exactly what he was saying, the mental battle with that is definitely like the biggest thing when it comes to that. I even had some young guys that went through some injuries and came to me and asked me. But it definitely takes a toll on you as an athlete just to think about like the small gains that you get like day by day in the training room, even though something may be hard or something you feel like you can't get that day, you may bounce back the very next day and end up hitting that goal. So like I said, like he said as well, like hitting them small goals every week, every day, just to keep your mental up. Honestly, it'll make you happy once you start seeing the progress that it makes, and then getting out of the training room and making that progress to the field is what
Yeah.
really gets you like I say my adrenaline going because
Yeah.
it's like I'm one step closer to being exactly where I want to be. And as long as I keep my mental straight and the support system that I have behind me, whether it's friends, family, or fans, I feel like I can complete anything. But it's definitely with patience though, patience in your mental.
Nice. So it from what I'm hearing, it really is more about the the mental toughness than it is the physical.
Yeah.
Like you can get through and things like that and doing the exercises and whatever, but you have
Absolutely.
to have that mental toughness in order to stick to it and get yourself to it to get through it, right?
Yes, sir. Work through the pain and everything.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Yeah. And again, I couldn't imagine tearing one ACL, let alone both. Like that's just insane. Um,
Yeah, it was
but
crazy though.
okay,
I felt like I was just a target whenever I came back. So and some, but
yeah.
And I can
wasn't as
add
bad
to
as the first blowout. So
I'm about to say I can
Well,
add to that. Like in the whole while him going through that, like even with us sitting in the training rooms together, like every day we had like somebody there, like to go through it with us. Like not we not glad they was there, like hurt, but we was glad, we had somebody to talk to about the injury and like motivate us every day, like during that, and make the whole process easier.
yeah, because even while I was injured, I was able to. encourage the other guys. And as long as I poured into them and they felt like they can do better and do great,
Mm.
I was happy just being a great teammate, honestly.
Yeah, shout out Brian Benitez.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, and I can see how important that would be, right? Because there's got to be times where it's just super frustrating that, I bring up Micah Parsons, for example, right? Supposed to be a huge addition for my precious Green Bay Packers. And when we needed him kind of the most, there goes that ACL. And now what happens, right? But nobody really thinks about what the athlete is going through and how much of a struggle it is, right? And well, except for fellow athletes. So that's awesome that you guys had that structured, support system there of fellow athletes and your coaches and friends and everybody, kind of being there and telling you, hey, I know it sucks, but give me one more rep, push one more time, get back up, keep going, right? So oh my. So you guys might know this guy, right?
It's got a couple
That's
dudes.
that's yeah, that's Josh, obviously one of the owners of the team. And he is right. I do have a
Yeah.
couple of dudes. I mean, I've got a couple of dogs here, right? This is kind of that core group that really is going to fuel to the COFL championship game because we're going to win, right? But
Right.
let's talk about that. So as the team is coming together, you're seeing some of the additions, some of the guys, maybe you don't know some of the other guys. What does that look like for you as a professional athlete going into this new team and knowing that there's going to be some new people out there that you're going to be working with? Do you guys are you the type to reach out early and start making contact and start trying to build those connections? Do you wait till it's like right before training camp where you have some organized team activities or whatever? Or what does it look like for you guys to start building that rapport with your fellow teammates?
Well,
I mean,
it's
right.
it's kind of early. Like as soon as they signed to the team, we all kind of like just congratulate them on signing with us or whatever. Like welcome to the family. We're happy to have them here. Every teammate that we have, we're happy to have them here or with us. And if anything, we'll have our own separate workouts or stuff like that. At least until we get there, and then by the time we get there, we'll be acclimated and have a deeper connection, I believe.
Right now for me, it's because I'm in San Antonio and the little events that I'll be able to make it to. I meet some of the guys there. Like that's where I met Will and Will last time. That's one of the teammates that I met already.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That would be the quarterback that you're going to be protecting.
Right.
So,
No, not protect. Well, if I was on offense, I would. I'll protect him in practice by not
I'm
hitting him.
sorry.
But yeah, no.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna hit him. I
I
ain't gonna
keep
hit
thinking you
him. I
guys
am.
switch.
Yeah.
For some reason, I keep thinking JT is on defense and Joe, you're on the offensive line, and it's like, no, it's the
No,
other way
no.
around,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Joe would be the guy that picks me up and throws me back 500 yards. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll remember that.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
you go.
But you were right. I am
Okay,
gonna protect him
so
in practice.
yeah, by not hitting him, well, you got to give him a little love.
Little
Okay,
love tap.
Love that.
he's got
No.
to be used pressure just in case somebody happens to sneak through our offensive line. But I've seen some of our offensive linemen, and I kind of doubt that that's going to happen. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But okay, so switch gears a bit. You guys both have spent time here in San Antonio. Uh, JT, you said you're from Fort Worth. Joe, you said you're from Louisiana. God obviously blessed you by
Mm-hmm.
bringing you to the greatest city on earth. What about San
Mm-hmm.
Antonio? Like, what makes it home for you guys? What do you love about San Antonio, and what are you excited about coming back to see when you get back here?
Well, I would say
Well,
for
Joe, you're already
me,
here, but
Yeah, I'm here.
I would,
But you can go.
okay. I
You
would
can
say,
go, my bad.
well, for me, just be it's kind of different for me. Like, I would say connections, and then just the people that you know out there, it makes it a lot easier. Other than the connections, the food. Because when I'm out there, I'm gonna eat. So I would definitely say
Yeah.
like that in general.
Yeah.
Okay. Joe?
Oh, but I stay out here,
And
so I just love the family feel to it. Like it's not too rambunctious or like crazy. You know, you got your good days, and when you want to go do stuff, you got it. Did you say the greatest city? Yeah, but it's like a family, a
yep.
cool vibe to it. I like that about this city.
So to go along with that, I just brought up that comment from Tim. Tim is probably the closest you could find to my brother from another mother. And he actually was in the DFW area. We met him through the previous league, and it was through tailgating. We met at their tailgate. They came down to ours, and it was just like family from the moment that we met. And to you said, Joe, San Antonio has always amazed me that it's the seventh largest city in the world, but it's the biggest small town you could ever be in.
Right.
Literally, you can't go anywhere in this town without running into somebody that you know. Now, maybe if you're an introvert and you hide out in the house most of the day and don't get out and talk to anybody, yeah, then chances are you're probably going to be able to get away with it. But for you guys being professional athletes and I'm sure pretty social, and me being pretty social, it's really hard to go out in this go somewhere and not run into somebody that you know. And I just love that, right? And it's more than just, oh, hey, I know you. No, it's like, I know you. How are the wife and kids? How's the mom and dad? Brothers,
Yeah.
sisters, how's your career going? And it's genuine, And so I absolutely love that about this town. There's just such a warm personal connection,
Yeah, it
and we don't
really is.
we don't cause too many problems. We don't uh-oh. Coach Stan's already jumping in.
Yeah. 35.
Hey, we need to do it. We need to do it, Stan.
Crazy.
Can we talk about that?
The 35 most wanted.
Well, yeah,
We
what all that
can.
means.
That's
Okay.
that's
Why
my
don't
song. That's my song. I went to Dallas last year during my training before I went to the league, and that time in between where you kind of like training and like going to interviews, getting calls from different teams. I was in one
Mhm.
of my downtimes after I got done training. I said, let me go to the studio and drop some stuff that I've been writing. And I went there, I made it, and I've sent it out to a lot of people, and it's getting good feedback.
It is.
Yeah.
And so what genre of music is it?
Country. It's like country
Yes.
pop, country indie.
Yes. And I have to say, I
Thank you,
heard it
Jen.
and I was very, very impressed. That one's for you too, JT. So you're not
What's up?
left out because
I
Miss Jen
got
loves.
you. Same here.
Now this probably would surprise you, but I'm a fan of music in general. Like I don't really have one specific genre. Like for example, when I'm working out, I really found like I went from kind of hard rock, and I eventually moved into trap music. There's just
I remember you
something
telling me
about
about
it
that.
that is, yeah, it's just motivating and energizing, and I don't know how to say the artist's name, but NEFEX. um
And
I don't know if it's Nefex or whatever it is, but there's just something about that driving beat that really kind of push, get that extra rep in, and when my arms feeling like spaghetti, and body feels like quitting, the music is telling me, not today. You just do, right? Um,
yeah.
Yeah.
but I hear that passion in your music, Joe, in the ones that I've heard. and I'm super excited to see how that develops. But you're a football player first. You're
Yeah.
not an artist. Okay.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. Let me add on to like your like
That person.
branching off of music. When I was at LSU and even when at UTSA in the weight room, it's the most like rock kind of music. And after so long of
Mhm.
listening to it, I prefer listening to that while I'm working out. Like it makes me just want to run through a wall, you know?
Dang.
Like
Yeah.
just it's just something about it. It's like an inner like roar, you know? But
Yeah,
it's good to listen to. You know?
Yeah.
I feel you.
It's just
Like
the
even
primal
for
drive.
me.
But JT, yeah, what is your go-to?
Well, honestly, mine is everything as well. To start out every game, I listen to a bass boosted Seven Nation Army. So
Mm.
Oh, let's go.
that's how I start. So, mhm.
Yeah,
But I listen to
I kind of
everything.
remember those. I remember those days when I was younger and I used to have the 412s in my back seat. Because I didn't have kids. You need bass. You don't need kids, right? So
Yeah.
um now I've got it dialed down. I've got 1.8 and it's pumping pretty good, but I'm not like rattling the neighbors' windows or anything right now. But we'll talk about all that
Right
later.
now.
Um, but no, that's nice. So Seven Nation Army and with the really awesome bass line. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Your music's gonna sound great on May 24th.
We're gonna
Yep.
do it. Let's
And
do it.
then, my twin Tim, he's
Yes.
got a
Go
little bit of love for,
Tigers. Purple and
well,
gold.
and that's okay for like a secondary team, but you know, gotta stay
Whoa.
Yeah,
loyal.
that part.
Well,
Yeah,
go
that
Birds, but like I'm a Louisiana boy at the end of the day. Like
part.
it's
No,
purple and gold, but
Where you in that?
it's forever this too.
I would say, where you in that?
UTSA.
Uh huh.
Where the
And
Natty
there,
was won at?
huh?
I said where the Natty was won at?
How many championships you win with us?
Like 1,200. It was a lot. We killed stuff out there. I ain't gonna lie, we put some people in the dirt. We
Definitely,
had fun,
yeah.
you know.
definitely have fun.
Okay. I'm gonna post this next comment,
Okay.
but I do not agree with this. Management does not agree with this next statement in any way, shape, or form.
Gig 'em.
Hey, who's
No.
that? That's
A&M.
that's oh no.
What's gig 'em?
That's A&M's thing. Gig 'em Aggies.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know
And
nothing
so
about that.
yeah, BD would absolutely be excited out of his mind because he's an Aggie fan also. Not so much. Like my loyalties with UTSA, my home team is University of Wisconsin. We haven't been good in like 20 years, and that's okay. You know,
Hey,
you
they
just
did their thing another year though. And I actually the only way I'm supporting A&M is if my guy Houston Thomas because he transferred over there. So
He had Texas A&M.
yes, Houston Thomas is
oh
at
man,
SS. Yeah, he
oh
he took
my,
88. He took 88 from me when I was at UTSA, and
oh okay,
he came and asked me like if he could wear that after I switched numbers.
He a solid guy too.
Mhm. So that's my boy.
well, that's good. Okay, so we talked a little bit about the college connections
Mhm.
and everything. Let's kind of do our professional career. Obviously, you guys had options, right? You could have
Mhm.
gone to within the league. Uh, um, definitely like different arena football options out there, and maybe pro camps, things like that. What is it about the Continental Football League and specifically the Toros that drew you in and drew you back here to San Antonio?
It makes the most sense for me. And hearing about the coaching staff that we're gonna have, it was really a no brainer after that. I was like, yeah, this is the best place to showcase your ability to wherever you want to go. It brings San Antonio some great football to come out and support and watch. It was a no brainer.
Yeah, and to me, it's also the like he said, but mostly the environment and set like we're almost. I wouldn't even say almost, but it's like UTSA alumni that people still like to enjoy to watch as well. So
Right.
it'll bring people. It'll bring definitely bring people in. Like he said, be able to showcase our talent, and then it's another opportunity.
Nice. So I've asked this next question in a couple of different forms to a couple of our guests, but what is it like going from a legend like Jeff Traylor as your coach to a legend like Stan Bedwell as your coach? How does that feel for you guys as players?
Well, like I said, once again, just blessed with the opportunity, and really, really just interested in seeing on how this coaching staff will be compared to Jeff Traylor's staff as well. So just trying to see if the culture's still there, if the culture's improved, how that culture's gonna be with this new group.
Let's go. How's everything?
Feeling great.
That's my Vikings frenemy. And
Okay.
just so he
Vikings? Are you a
sees it,
Vikings
right?
fan?
Yeah, Robert's a huge Vikings fan. He's got the Vikings tattoo and everything.
Oh,
But he also has the other team's tattoo, and so we don't really talk. Uh, I I want to ask you guys just personal opinion. You've played for you're getting ready to play for Stan. Similarities that you guys see there, maybe in their coaching staff or
It's breaking up.
their attitude, their approach on life.
that they're family people. That's my initial thing. Both of them are family men. I haven't really seen much of you know Coach Bedwell's religion, but I know that for sure Coach Trailer, he's like whatever your religion is, he wants you to praise it at the most highest. One of them that he mentioned is like if you praise the field goal, by all means go to the field goal post, and, give it your
Yeah,
all. So um other than religion, I'd say just them as a person, being real genuine people, honest and down to earth, but family oriented for sure.
yeah. They're both people. From what my experience of them, they're both people you can come and talk to too. Um, Coach Stanwell, he seemed like a very genuine guy, like JC said. It's important for a coach to be genuine and that you kind of get like a family vibe from them, so you feel like you can come and talk to them about anything, you know.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I noticed. I was fortunate to be able to a USAA event at the Texas Valero Open several years ago, and Jeff Traylor was one of the guest speakers there. And now he was with Phil Mickelson and I want to say it was Chichi Rodriguez, very famous, very old golfer, but super entertaining. He would steal the spotlight from the best guests that you could possibly bring in, right? So Jeff didn't really get a chance to necessarily steal the spotlight, but when he talked, he commanded the room, and it was
Yeah.
genuine, it was honest, it was words from the heart. And I
Mhm.
was like, man, this guy, I really kind of think he is everything that everybody says he is. And then I met Coach Bedwell, right?
Mhm.
And it was like, holy crap, these guys are kind of cut from the same cloth. They honest and they're genuine. And when they say that they care about you as a player and trying to help your for your future in football, they genuinely mean it. They're out there to try and get you guys, fine-tuned to go up to the next level. And just knowing that there are people out there in this football world where you have head coaches, in the professional level that focus on on the superstars because they're the ones that kind of need the hardworking dogs in the trenches. kind of don't really get anything. It's nice to know that there are coaches out there that are taking the time and treating everybody with the same attitude and the same respect and the same focus and dedication. Uh, uh,
My bad,
we
y'all. I'm
talked a
getting
little
tore
bit
by these
about
flies.
this is the absolute worst time
I
to be
should
here
have
in
went
San
inside.
Antonio because
It's humid.
yeah, oh yeah, it's humid. Everything's coming to life. Everything that bites, buzzes, stings is all coming out in full
I'm over here
force.
trying to keep a
It's
straight
horrible,
face.
right?
These
Look,
bugs just flying in my
lightning
face.
just
I'm
hit,
over here doing like this.
and lightning just hit over here. I'm trying to keep my
Yeah,
composure.
And that's why you control the controllables, man.
that's
Control the
okay.
Yeah.
controllables.
Yep. Uh, we'll maintain our composure. We'll be fine. And you know, if you got to slap a bug, slap a bug. I mean, it's fine. Um, but so one of the questions that I definitely wanted to know a little bit more about, right? And this is for both of you guys. You're getting ready to come into the, this level of professional football.
Mhm.
You guys have some experience with big games before. Obviously, you both were UTSA. You both were, part of some of the championship teams. Talk to me about a situation in which you were, let's say it was the biggest game of your life. What did you do to handle that pressure? And what was the outcome of that game?
You want me to go?
Yeah, you go.
Okay, so one of the biggest games in my head was a Texas State robbery, like the UTSA, Texas State robbery. It was man.
Mm-hmm.
That game was so hyped up. Usually we kind of like keep it under the radar, but that game it was kind of like we locked in on what y'all doing. You saying this about us? All right, we gonna show y'all. But it was kind of like that mentality, and that game I feel like I took my every week preparation was like watching film, studying like what the offensive lineman cadences are, like what are their tendencies, third down, first down. Um, it was basically just breaking down. I mean, I just felt like I had more passion toward not passion, but I had more like energy for that game,
Mhm.
if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it
then
was fun.
And
I'd
then
say
outcome of
I
that
I
game?
really had like two. Wait, huh?
Say it again.
Well, I was asking Joe what the outcome of that Texas State game was.
Oh, we lost, but it's all about the preparation. Like we came and we was ready to like I'm talking about pound. But I mean, you can control the controllables, right? I mean,
Mhm.
sometimes as long as you give your all, that's all you can really do. You got to control what you can control.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's the first time they ever beat us, though.
Okay, JT.
And
Yeah. I kind of had two. Uh, the first one was it was actually versus TSU. Mind you, I don't talk trash before a game or anything like that. I can talk it during it, but they went to my DMs and like three of the guys went to my DMs and told me like that I was trash or whatever. This is like 2022 actually. They told me I was trash, that I sucked or whatnot. That hyped me up before the game because it was just funny to me. And then during the game, every guy that talked trash that played DB, I took a picture with them. They wanted a picture after the game. I still have that picture to this day, and I caught a touchdown on them. So not only that did we win that game, but I also broke the school record with what touchdowns and yards that game. I believe 217 yards that game and three touchdowns
what game was it again?
versus Texas Southern
Oh yeah,
at,
yeah, yeah,
at the
yeah.
Dome. And then
Yeah.
I'd say my last one was versus UNT. The game winning catch after Oscar did that one hand catch before I caught the touchdown. They actually caught my mom on TV crying, which was it
Oh,
was, it was pretty funny to me. But I don't know how they knew where she was On the
Hey, y'all.
come on.
Hey,
But I don't know how they knew where she was. It's like right after the touchdown, which was a crazy moment for me. But
okay.
it was a great game, and we won that game as well. Homecoming, matter of fact.
So you would be surprised how much information everybody in those stadiums, right? The cameramen know where everybody's family members are, the whole entire event staff, right? Everybody knows everything behind the scenes. And really the only reason I know that, this is going to be a big shout out to somebody that you guys know, at least from his voice anyways, but Milton Hope, the voice of your San Antonio Roadrunners, is the
Yeah.
one who actually told me a lot of the behind the curtain secrets. When the camera pans over to your mom after you make that incredible catch, that camera was
Mhm.
already on her. They knew where she was. They've got cameras stationed on the family just so they can catch those reactions, right? And thankfully that worked out great. And then you got to have that heartfelt moment with your mom.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's all kinds of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that a lot of people don't know about. Um, okay, so we talked about that. Um, we talked a little bit about this move into the San Antonio Toros and everything. Sorry, I've got a boxer puppy and he's going crazy over here on the side, but he's not
A
hurting
boxer?
anybody. He's fine. Um, you're now in the Continental Football League, and I'm sure you guys know about the Continental Shift.
Yeah.
Is that a yes, no, maybe?
Yeah.
Wait. Say that again. Say that again.
So the Continental Shift that happens in the fourth quarter of the football
Oh,
game.
oh, yeah. It goes to the
Yeah,
CFL rules, right?
right, right. Talk to me about that. Are How do you guys feel about that? Are you excited about that? Are you, maybe a little nervous? Or you guys probably
Well,
aren't nervous because you're professionals, but
yeah, I wouldn't say nervous, but I mean, it's something to like prepare for, like just in case, like whether you after, like say after, what I'm saying, you finish the career with the Toros or something like that. If we get another job in the CFL or something like that, you already know how it's going to be, so you'll be
Yeah.
prepared for that. But not only that, I mean, it might be fun,
I- I'm
honestly.
just, I'm just glad that we have an opportunity to put dual film out there at the same time. Like it's dual for the Canadian, and then you got the American football you got film for. So it's like win-win.
Yeah.
mhm. And that's so I talked about it with Joe a little bit at the Smoky Moe's event, but I'm always the type of guy innovation in this game, right? Football has been played for God, 150, some odd years. I know my Packers have been around for over 100, but I've been fortunate enough to see the game kind of develop from what it was in the 80s and 90s into what it is today, such as, the tight ends playing a much different role than what they used to before.
Mhm.
And, the fullback halfback combination going away. And then, your running backs becoming more of a, you know, blocker slash receiver.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%, Tim. Yes, back when I was a youngin, 150 years ago. Thanks. So you can see even our friends talk trash. So, um, but just to see something revolutionize the game and change it up, um, the the kickoff in the UFL that got adopted by the NFL, right? Something
Mhm.
revolutionary. So to see the Continental Football League embrace that connection with the Canadian Football League and bring those rules in for that whole fourth quarter. I'm super excited for that. Now,
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you guys this because this is, one question that um we've always kind of been kicking around to see just what you guys as players think. But with that Canadian rules kind of being a much faster paced game, right? You only get 3 downs and you can have receivers in motion and all these different crazy things that can happen. By the way, JT, you'll be able to, take off at a dead sprint
Yeah.
and good luck any, safety or corner trying to catch you.
Right.
Okay. But with that being the case, who has the better advantage in this game? Would it be a player who has arena football experience or somebody who's had Canadian football experience? Who thrives better in this new conglomerate that is the Continental Football League?
You said arena or Canadian? I would think Canadian,
Yeah.
right?
A player who's had
Yeah.
arena experience.
I would say Canadian would have the
Yeah.
better chance because I mean arena. I believe the only thing you really have to worry about is hitting the barriers. As a receiver, they have different rules as far as catching the ball. You can catch a ball and get hit into the barrier all types of way, get hit outside of the barrier. But as far as like just like the actual game play and style, I would say Canadian.
Yeah, and I think it's a way
Yeah.
that the NFL look at certain film too as like experience, you know.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, it's nice to show that you've got speed and control,
Mhm.
but your deepest pass can only ever be what, 51 yards, and that's if you're throwing it from one end zone to the other.
Yeah,
That's not necessarily like an NFL record or anything. You know, most of the younger quarterbacks, anyways, at that level, can fling a ball 60 yards easily, right? Do you have the speed though as a receiver to get down there, or do you only have the speed to go about 10, 15 yards and cut a tight post route? That I really think the Canadian, because you've got bigger fields, because you've got more room to work with, I think the folks who have Canadian football experience are going to
yeah,
have a little bit of an advantage, especially when it comes to the Canadian or to the continental shift, because they're already going to be used to those rules, you know.
yeah.
And again, doing the research that I have, I think right now, as it stands, we have our roster's almost full, if not already full, if I remember correctly. And of that, we have people who already have Canadian football experience, such as our quarterback, Will Arndt, right?
Mhm.
So that's going to give us a really kind of unfair advantage. So,
Yeah.
talking about that, though, let me ask you guys this. Have you seen the power rankings that have come out so far?
I
And what do you
did.
think of them if you have seen them?
My thing is, I think that even though we are first, we still got to keep a neutral mindset. Every opponent it could be different. You never know like any outcome of any game. So just staying level headed, and keeping every opponent like with the mindset that with the same energy. If anything, not underestimating anybody.
Very true.
I agree. I would
Joe?
say the same thing.
Okay. Uh, Again, looking at the rosters, I mean, unless some of these other teams make some incredible signings like San Antonio did, I really kind of agree with those. And yes, I'll admit I'm being a little bit of a hometown homer. I'm going to support my local team, but like I've seen you guys play. I've watched some film on some of these other guys that I'm not as familiar with,
Mhm.
and I'm very impressed. And I will say though that this is not, as JT said, this is not going to be easy. This is not going to be a walk in the park because it's not like, you know, the weird team about 90 miles north is just signing anybody off the streets. I mean, they're getting people. They've got a little trio of running backs that, Joe, you're going to have to keep an eye on, right? Get your hands on them early, take them down fast, that,
Right.
make any kind of move on you. But there is some serious talent. And I would say arguably, this whole Continental Football League is kind of being proposed as double A ball. I would say that needs a caveat. This is double A ball with triple A players, you know, because we've got guys like you guys that are going to be out there. And again, I've seen you play, I've seen your stats, I've seen what you guys can do. And I would not say that you guys are double A ball players. Okay. Again, a little bit of a hometown homer. I get that. But I really think this league is just going to be filthy with talent. And there's going to be a lot of hard work that's going to have to be put in, but there's going to be a lot of opportunities for you guys to be able to kind of show what it is that you can do, which is what brings you out here to the field, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's kind of go back to when we were talking about the training room and stuff like that. One thing the fans really do like to know about, what does your game day routine look like? Like, what do you do to get ready, to go out there and to do battles?
You talking about day of?
Yes, day of.
Day of. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about our time at UTSA. Um, we will go to the facility. We'll all have meetings and discuss our game plan of what we gotta accomplish in the game, the tendencies, what to expect on first and third down. We have a team meeting where we basically just talk very briefly, and then we go to the facility. Am I right? To the stadium, yeah, to the stadium, and we get taped, and we got time to like really like put our headphones in, get in the zone of what we want to do. If we can go over notes, like it's always planning, reviewing before a game.
Mm-hmm.
So like basically making sure you dot your I's and crossing your T's, basically.
Yeah. The way I prepare, somewhat. I mean, the
Okay.
exact same. We're normally on an itinerary. Come down, get breakfast, then walk through, go over everything. Sometimes we may have time to go back up to the room and get some rest before we come back down for dinner. But other than that, just really just preparing yourself, making sure that your electrolytes, you're hydrated, you have something in your stomach, you're not overeating, you eat your fruit. Other than that, just making sure you stretch the right way, and everything, moving forward. That way you're ready whenever the game starts.
You know what? I just got
Um,
mixed up. I just got mixed up between Friday and game day. Remember, because we had a Friday walkthroughs, and I'm
Yeah.
talking about walkthroughs. Friday, Saturday, exactly what JT was saying.
Oh yeah.
I'm thinking about league, and I'm thinking about different stuff.
nice. So, just trying to, because I've got so many questions I want to ask you guys, and I want to make sure that I'm, putting all these kind of, you know, getting the best questions I can out there. Um, let's start with this one first.
Mhm.
If you were to compare, well, here, let me ask Tim's question. Uh, what song or artist gets you guys hyped up? And then keep
In,
in mind
any
that was
any
preceded
any song with any artist with a
by
beat,
that.
like a
Yeah.
like a like a like an NBA young boy.
Okay.
Usually get there. Like an NBA young boy, any hard country like Luke Combs, Cold Beer Never Broke My Heart.
Okay.
Any song like really with like you can feel that shit
Yeah.
can suck regardless too.
And mine,
Okay.
I definitely agree to some of that. I probably add like Blake Shelton in there. A little bit of Big X the Plug.
Yeah,
Um,
Big X, he a good one too.
but
Mm.
definitely something to have me reiterating the lyrics and
Yeah.
like vibe with the music. Because sometimes I'll bob my head to whenever I'm throwing the ball and try to catch it or throw the ball on beat.
So, okay. I'm going to share a story with you guys real quick, right? just to kind of let you know how we do things here, right? Which is how you guys do them too. But shortly after that song "I'm from Texas" by Big X the Plug came out, we
Yeah.
went to St. Louis, and it was two fans from San Antonio, one fan from Houston. We got together with the St. Louis fan base and did a charity event to raise funds for an autism awareness group up there. And no lie, we came in, we had our own entrance and everything, right? Because we made that big of a deal out of it. But we 100% walked into "I'm from Texas," the unedited, totally dirty, just nasty as can be. And I did not care. And we came with the biggest attitudes. So
Big X, yeah.
I can see, I can see how some songs can hype you guys up. This is one that I have been waiting for the right interview, and I think this is the right one. You guys obviously, you spent time together on the UTSA roster for a while now. Um, who is someone that kind of helped you in your career so far that you haven't really had the chance to thank yet?
Mm.
And then why? And then why?
That I haven't thanked?
Yeah, that you haven't had a chance to thank yet.
Are we talking about just at UTSA?
Well, it could be UTSA, it could, somewhere along your career. Just someone that you want to say thank you to that you haven't had a chance to say thank you to that, and then why you want to say thank you to them.
I would say, I mean, but I tell them thank you all the time. Well, I can pick somebody else. I would say thank you to my trainers, um, Brian and Justine and Sam and Marie. They was in a part of my time where I was a lot to deal with, but I wasn't a lot to deal with at the same time. Like I was like, going through a lot with the injury, and they were there supporting me, making my days a lot better. Helping me see the light at the end of the tunnel, each and every day. I would thank them.
Nice, good choice.
Yeah.
JT.
I agree. Other than them and my mom, it's kind of two people. I'd say like Dr. D, the man that worked on my last ACL
Dr.
ACL
D.
care. Yeah, him as well, just for you know putting me back together during that process. The conversations that we've had as well. Not only that, man named John Phillips, one of my teammates' dad. Um, the conversations that I've had with him and a lot of opportunities that he also allowed me to endure. I would say with this process of being off the year that I took off from UTSA. So
Nice. I I always find it interesting to talk to you guys and find out about those people, those influences, those things that have kind of helped mold you and shape you guys and help turn you into the people that you are. And I'm a big advocate for youth sports for that very reason, right? I'll be honest, I was kind of a knucklehead when I was a kid. I gave my parents a lot of grief, stuff like that. I feel like it could have been probably worse had I not had a coach there to kind of get on me and hold me accountable, for my actions, especially stuff that I was doing off the field, right? Not having that coach, I probably, could have gone a little bit more wild. And it's just amazing. You look back when you guys get to my age, you'll be doing this, but you'll look back and you'll reminisce and be like, man, Coach Jay, he was really, instrumental in helping mold me because I could have gone so much worse. And but so I love, being on that back end, having my own stories and then talking to you guys and hearing your stories and seeing how, there was a coach or there was a teammate or there was somebody, player's dad, just somebody that
Mhm.
had a deep impact on your life and helped kind of give you some of that guidance to become who you guys are.
Right.
So
All right.
just good stuff. Good stuff. Okay.
Hey Jay,
I'd ask you guys, yeah, what happened?
I got the 650. I'm already late. I'm
Okay,
sorry. I gotta leave. Um,
let's go.
but
That's right.
thank you for having me.
You gonna be
And
there Friday?
I will at the
I'll see you
backyard on Broadway.
backyard on Broadway. Be
Yes,
there,
sir.
man. I'll
All
I'll
right,
see you
see
Joe.
you
then.
there.
All right, nice seeing you again, JT.
Indeed. See you
All
soon.
right, brother. All right.
Take care, Joe. All right, JT, it's just you and I now.
Gotcha.
So the fun part of the interview. Um, so you're obviously more than just a football player.
Mhm.
What are some of your interests off the field? What are some of your hobbies, things like that?
I
And
like writing. I
oh,
write. I write to myself. Like almost at the end of every week. Um, just to really like describe that week or just describe like how I'm feeling at the time. Um, Other than that, I mean, I play video games. Most of the times, I'll play with my younger brother just because that was my connection with him. Whenever I was up there in college, I wasn't able to see him as
okay.
much, but that's our like brother bond in that way. I would say.
Nice. Very
Um,
cool.
and my last one, I believe, is whenever I was at UTSA, a stress reliever would actually be like going to go hoop sometimes. Like even if I wasn't going all out, like I can just go to the gym and shoot.
Nice.
Mhm.
It uh-oh. Uh-oh. So I'm gonna have to share this comment,
Okay.
right? To
Yes,
think that you're pretty
swole.
swole, so you might be able to beat me on the flex cam.
Oh,
You
that's
would.
I
You
mean, I
would. It's
still.
okay. I mean, I've got some decent guns, but like I'm working with 22s and you're working with howitzers, so it's not even a fair competition for me. Okay.
I was gonna say
Um,
that's something.
yep. So, you obviously, you're from Fort Worth. You spent some time in San Antonio. I have to ask this: what makes San Antonio better than Austin, and why are our tacos so much better than theirs?
Why is San Antonio's tacos better than Austin's tacos?
Yeah.
More flavor, more juicier, more options. We have I believe we have more stores, more places to go to as well. And also just
Hmm.
like the love that you get whenever you go there. Like it's always like a great welcoming whenever you're there as well. So the
See,
hospitality as well.
and that's what I try and tell our friends from the Texas Syndicate and the Austin area is
Mhm.
that it's cute that they think that tacos are not ever meant to be this designer thing with these fancy ingredients and weird salad that you can't even pronounce. Like a taco is supposed to be a taco.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be delicious and full of ingredients that you know what they are, right? Now, maybe most of the
Yeah.
ingredients might be said in Spanish, but you know what those ingredients are. Now, a little caveat, I have to warn you in advance, because at some point you will probably see her pop up here. But my fiance is from El Paso, and the food here is Tex-Mex food. It's not authentic Mexican food, according to her. Again,
Okay.
she's from El Paso, so the air's a little bit thinner. They creates a different, optic on things.
Yeah.
But I will say that she is right. Mex and the Mexican food here is a little bit different than El Paso. And so, like when to Midland and go kick the tar out of them, and we go and get tacos after the game or something, They're not going to be the same, right? So don't expect them to be as good as what they are here in San Antonio. You'll just have to savor that flavor of that win, right? And then we'll call it a
Yeah,
day.
that part.
Um, you had kind of mentioned it before. I definitely want to circle back to this one. On the
Mhm.
field, you said you're not one to initiate trash talk, but are you a trash talking type player or you give what you get?
I say it depends. Like I feel like I'm funny whenever I'm on the field, if anything. Like I give an example. Versus U of H. You remember how I said that I committed there at one point? Um,
Mhm.
when we played them, I knew Tank Dell. Like me and Tank Dell, we exchanged conversations and everything like that. Even talked to each other and was like, "We're gonna see who the best number one is this game." Like just talking. But not only that, as far as trash talk, their sideline trash talk, and I didn't do anything but laugh. But the DB in front of me and him were like jokingly having conversation, and the next play, I scored on him, and then I dropped him later on down the road. But it was just funny to me. Like I think it's funny.
Yeah. There are some players that really get into it,
Mhm.
and I think that's a fine line that you're walking right there. Because really, if you think about it, you're kind of tempting fate, right? You're doing everything you can to try to get in that guy's head, but
Exactly.
you have to understand that you're also firing that person up, and so they may play even harder and do everything they
Very
can to
deep.
make you look ridiculous,
Yeah, but
right?
that's why I keep it
So
entertaining. Me just smiling is it just keeps it going. So as long as they feel like they're doing something, they get one play where it's probably like an overthrown ball or something like that, and the DB does the little emote that they didn't strap somebody up. I think that that's funny. The ball was nowhere near, like in the vicinity. So it's all funny games whenever it comes to trash talk. If somebody gets overly like mad about something, once again, I'm gonna just laugh. like what you mad for? It's a game. It's competition. That's what I'm saying. That's the main thing.
yeah. Yeah, those tend to be the players that BD and Tim and I go after is the ones that are out there talking trash and then they get frustrated and they blow a play and they come off the sideline and it's like, well, you brought this on yourself, man. You should have been quiet. You should have focused on business, and now we're gonna
That
laugh at
part.
you.
And not gonna lie,
So,
now that I know that y'all talk trash about him, I'll probably emote on the field for that reason.
oh, do it, because if we see that defender gets burnt, he's gonna have to come back
Yeah.
over and see us. And because so Tim and BD and I started this kind of a while ago, specifically BD and I. Um, but we always sit on the visitor side, on the 50-yard line. We only started it because we're cheapskates and we wanted the best seats and we don't want to pay a whole lot of money for them. But
Yeah.
then it developed into this, well, hey, wait a minute. The opponent's in front of us. And we can start talking trash and we can start messing with people. And without going into too much detail, we have been invited out into the parking lot for several private conversations. We've had a player full on flip us off. Uh, I had an offensive coordinator talk trash to me. It wasn't trash. It was worse than trash. But he 100% came over and he was looking to start something. And it was like, bro, really? Like, I got into your of all people, I got into your head. Come on, man.
With the
But then
weekend
we
coming.
also we did make some friends too, especially like I said, off camera this last season. There were a couple of guys who I guess kind of knew, or at least knew how to handle the pressure,
Mhm.
and would start joking back with us. And I can't remember the gentleman's name right now, but there was a player for DC when DC played their first game in San Antonio. Uh, he came out on the field and he was tapping his watch. Said 15 minutes. Don't worry about it, folks. You'll be home in time for dinner, right? Something crazy like that. And it was like, oh, okay, okay. And so second quarter, we were ahead. And so as he's going in the locker room, we're like, hey, 15 minutes. What happened? And then he came back out and we kept, hey, man, 15 minutes. San Antonio wound up winning that game and he took off.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, no big deal. Then we went to DC that year and saw him. And we're yelling at him because we were sitting on the side that the San Antonio team was on. We're yelling at him from across the field. And I don't know how, but somehow he heard us. And he turned and looked at us and we're tapping our watches like that. And he was like, oh, crap. You literally, you could see him say, oh, crap. And he just walked away.
That's funny.
Right? Yeah. And then so the next year when he came back into San Antonio, he comes walking out of the tunnel. We're tapping our watches and he sees us and he comes over and he's like, man, you guys are relentless, man. You just don't give up, do you? And we're like, nope. And wound up having a pretty decent relationship.
That's good.
But so like Tim is saying right here, right? He was a Dallas fan and they used to go back and forth with Houston. And so O'Neal, who played with Houston, you know, obviously they kind of had that same thing. So
Greece?
you're going to be out there playing. How are you going to handle that kind of pressure? Are you going to be the kind of guy that jokes back and forth with the fans? Are you going to try and just tune them out, or?
Yeah, I'll definitely joke back because it's like it's funny. We had the same thing whenever like we go to a different team's like place or whatnot. Texas State. I believe that
Trash.
we had a thing there where it was like we'll end up hollering at a girl or something like that. Like if they came down and they were down like their guys or whatever, or there's like the student section. I would say that the student section they would have
Yes.
hecklers as we go into the locker room or whatnot. But the girls would be right there too. We'll be like, all we got to do is come to a party and take y'all girls. Like it's that simple. From UTSA. So.
There you go. Although I will say that is going to be stiff competition because the only thing Texas State is known for is for partying. I don't care what you call it. It will always be Texas State to me, and it's literally you get a bachelor's degree in alcoholism. That's it.
And jump
That's
into a
all it's
river.
good for. No, that too. So the reason why I ask that is because there have been obviously some altercations, and I'm assuming that this would not be you. But is it safe to assume that you're not going to be the type of guy to lose your cool and get into an altercation with a fan?
I'm a laugh. Like I'll just laugh at it. If anything, if they're doing too much, that's all I'm gonna do is just laugh at it. I'll be more focused on the game than I am with fans.
Good. Okay. The reason why I asked that, and you may have seen this last year or have heard about it, maybe you didn't, but there was an altercation between a St. Louis fan and a Michigan player. And that was the viral video that went out where the player is slapping the dog snot out of the fan. And then the second Michigan player that grabs the guy, the first Michigan player, and pulls him back, is pointing at the fan and laughing, right? What you didn't see in that altercation in that video, because they didn't catch all that, was that fan actually spit on the player. Now, I think it was one of those things where because enough people ratted that guy out, because he was looking for something like that, and he wound up suing the UFL over it. In that situation, the UFL just said, hey, look, we're done. Player, don't touch fans. Fan, don't ever come back to a game. And they just kind of left it alone at that. But realistically, the fan assaulted the player first by spitting on him. You can't put bodily fluids on somebody, right? And you're right. It was Puka Nacua.
Brother.
I believe it was his brother that played for the Panthers, and he was the one who slapped the snot out of the fan. And the fan deserved it.
And I mean,
right?
You can't like spit on somebody and expect somebody not to retaliate. And I think, me personally, I think that's anybody. Like, it's a certain amount of people that like will react a different way. You got some people that'll act aggressively. Not like that 1% out of the 99% of people that will react. That 1% may just walk away, but it'll be very rare for somebody to walk away from
Yeah.
what they spit on. So
Well, and I would highly encourage if anything like that happens, walk away, tell the authorities, let them do their job, right? Don't engage, don't get involved, because it's not worth it to get yourself in serious trouble or jeopardize your career over one knucklehead. Um, and that's just one of many examples. Like you hear there was a brawl at an arena game in which 5 players from each team basically got ejected, and one coach got fired, and fans got banned for life, like all kinds of crazy stuff. And I mean, these are very real things, because I understand, you're out there, you're playing, you're giving it your all. It is going to be, some emotions involved, and sometimes some people maybe just can't handle that. So, I just want to make sure that you kind of have that
professional,
mental fortitude to survive those kinds of attacks.
yeah.
Um, so let me ask you this one other question real quick, because this is something that we like for our fans that have kids that are going through youth sports to kind of hear about. But especially you having overcome a pretty serious adversity, a potential serious setback in your career. Um, what would you tell younger players to encourage them or help them along their way?
I say surround yourself around the right people. Trust in God first. Talk to him whenever you can, if anything. Mostly everything that you're going through, if you think it's not working now, like I said, trust in God first, and everything is mental. So long as you keep most of your mental, like at a positive, um, that'll be your best attribute. Take care of your bodies whenever you can, even though sometimes you may not want to risk that time. But that time will actually benefit you later on in the future regarding like the game or practice with keeping your body healthy. But your mental ability, I believe it should be the strongest thing.
I definitely agree with that. Um, this is a game that arguably is just as much mental as it is physical.
Mhm.
And physical, yeah, you can go out there and you can take the knocks, your body is going to heal, you're going to recover.
Yeah.
But being in the right mind frame and being in the right mind space, you want to make sure that you're kind of taking care of your mental health, because with that goes, the rest of it doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah.
And how many professional athletes have we seen that didn't take care of that, kind of went off the deep end, and then kind of lost everything, right?
Right.
Um, and I mean, I can think of several different NFL players that's happened to.
Mhm.
Um, okay. One last question, and then we'll probably go ahead and wrap it up here, because I don't want to take up all your time. I'm sure you've got stuff going on also. Um, but I will say this has been an extremely fun interview. I love the fact that I got two UTSA alum together to be able to share the stage, and really you guys did most of the work. So all I did was I came up with a couple of questions that just let you kind of take over. Um, but let me ask you this. So you've been here in San Antonio at least a little bit. You
Mhm.
know about some of the history and about some of the failed, sports ventures that have happened here and everything like that.
Mhm.
What would you like to tell the fans to give them a little bit more confidence in buying into this Continental Football League and the San Antonio Toros?
I would say the history that we were able, like the history from UTSA that we were able to create, um, from my years being there, like from 2019 all the way to 2024. honestly, I believe as long as we build this team up and everything like that, we can create a lot of good history. Possibly be contenders for a championship and win one and bring one back to the city. As well as like we still have faith in the Spurs right now as well to bring one home and Wemby and everything. So um, just believe in us the same way y'all believed in UTSA and in the Spurs, and we'll take care of everything as far as the um, athleticism and the games.
Excellent. Excellent. All right, man. Well, JT, I cannot say thank you enough. It has been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. Why don't you let everybody know your socials so they can follow you along your career? And when you make the big time, maybe you can just give a little hey to San Antonio, right?
Gotcha. Well, I'll give you guys my Instagram handle, DC1, the number one, ARK_ through Instagram. That's probably what I'll mostly be on. Yeah. And you can see me there. I'll post us Toros, our teammates, and everything like that as well, and any updates with us as well. So
Excellent, excellent. I'm definitely looking forward to you getting back down here and us getting a chance to visit and just do this football thing together, man.
absolutely.
I'm almost at the point where I'm convinced that I could, put on the gear and maybe run one or two more plays, just to be out
Hey,
there with you guys.
it's
I
all
can't do
it's
it,
all
but
a max. If you there, I'll have you put on mine, and we'll see if you can catch the ball with some gear on.
no. I'm a running back. I ain't got hands, right? I can keep the ball secure. I can't catch.
Okay, bet. Well, I'll block for you. How about that?
There you go. There you go.
Sounds
You
like
won't
a
even
plan.
have to run fast because I'm not going to run very fast.
I got you.
So awesome. Well, JT, again, thank you so much, man. I cannot wait to see you back down here in San Antonio. I'm looking forward to some of the team activities and stuff and some of the events you guys are going to do out in the community. And
Absolutely.
man, I'm just ready, bro. I'm ready.
Well, same here. I'm ready as well, and thank you for having me.
Definitely, man. Take care, bud. We'll see you real soon.
All righty.
All right, man.
Later.
Later. There we go. Okay. So that was Joe Evans and JT Clark of your new San Antonio Toros. Obviously, uh, Jen is super excited. She's going to see the guys here. She'll probably see them before I will, obviously. But they are alum from UTSA. They're bringing that same passion, that same brotherhood, that same fighting spirit that UTSA is known for. They're bringing it to the Toros. Guys, I cannot push this next event that's coming up on Friday enough. That's going to be at Backyard Broadway from 5 to 8 p.m. There's going to be several players out there. There's going to be several coaches out there. Heck, we're going to have the ownership group out there. And if rumor is correct, and yes, definitely, Lori, I cannot wait for the season to start either. If rumor is correct, there's going to be individuals there that are going to be able to explain about ownership in the team, that you can actually buy stock in the team and invest in the future of the team and not just be a fan, but be an owner. So you're definitely going to want to go there and check that out. The guys that are going to be there explaining it can explain it way better than I can. They actually understand finances and everything, but perfect way for you to get involved depending on what your level that you want to get involved at is. There's all kinds of different benefits that come with investment with the team, but this is something that we've been talking about since the day we found out about the San Antonio Toros. This is something that is uniquely ours, and it gives us an opportunity to be able to connect with this and control the destiny of the team. No more billionaires coming along and taking away teams. No more people using San Antonio as leverage to get a stadium in another city somewhere else. This is something that is uniquely ours and will be ours as long as we're committed to it. So, guys, come out on Friday, come check it out, see what it's all about. And you'll definitely see Texans Talking Football out there. We'll be out there, doing a little bit of a live shoot and talking with some of the players and the coaches again and things like that, and some of the fans, of course. But I can't wait to see you guys there this Friday. Now, let me do my shout outs real quick, and then we'll go ahead and land this plane. First and foremost, big shout out to our friends over at Texas Sports Productions. Thank you guys for all of the assistance you've given us so far, all the collaboration efforts that we've done and everything. Really appreciate everything that you guys are doing to help out Texans Talking Football here. And I'm especially excited to work with you guys with the San Antonio Toros and several of the other teams here in the Continental Football League. And then when we roll into I can't show that comment, but I probably agree. When we roll into like high school football time, you guys are going to be quintessential for information. So high school football guys, definitely check out Texas Sports Productions. They are always on top of their game there, and you'll get to see some really good information from them, some of the up and coming high school stars, all that good stuff. Also want to give a shout out to Spurge and A Train and the X Fan Show, all the stuff that you guys have done to help us out. Much appreciated. Thank you for turning us on to the Continental Football League. It has been an absolute wonderful opportunity for us to get passionate about something again and give back to the community. Definitely want to give a shout out to XFL Mike G and all of our friends over at the Alternative Football Network for continuing to support us and help us in our Texans Talking Football endeavors. So guys, thank you very much. And also want to give a big shout out to our friends over at Pro Arena Talk. We try and talk about arena football here because it is something that happens in Texas. And right now there hasn't really been, the Gunslingers definitely won their first game this last weekend, and it was in pretty strong fashion. Hopefully they figured things out and are righting the ship. But it's our friends over at Pro Arena Talk that help give us the stats and the numbers and everything like that, such as the information about the Dallas Bulls over the National Arena League, who are no longer at their facility because I guess there was some financial issues or whatever. So not sure what the future holds for the Dallas Bulls. But right now we have an arena team with no arena. So it's going to be weird to see how that pans out. The other shout out I want to give is obviously to all of our friends at the San Antonio Toros, Jen and Weston and just all of you guys, Coach Bedwell, all of you for helping us out, keeping us connected with the team and everything that's going on and everything. Lauren, love you too, man. This guy as well. He's been very quintessential in helping this league out, and I just appreciate everything that he's done to help support this new endeavor here. The biggest part though is you fans. I appreciate each and every one of you. You guys always tune in. You have great questions. Your level of involvement is always appreciated. So, guys, thank you for all that you do to help keep the show going. This is technically episode 152, but was 151 because we originally scheduled with Mr. Evans, and he wasn't able to make it, so we had to shift some things around. But so there we go. At least 152 episodes in the books. And again, we could not do that without you guys. So appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we'll go ahead and cut it here. But be ready for this weekend and be ready because we're only about 30 days out from first kickoff for the San Antonio Toros. So I hope to see you all there this weekend, and we'll catch you on the next show. All right. Take care, guys. See ya.